Good evening, everyone. My Yu-Gi-Oh! Emulator is not working, so that is why we are doing a physical deck list today. Well, I saw my melodious Supreme King got quite a few views for me, so I figured I'd show you another melodious deck that I've been working on for a little while. I don't know how well it's going to perform in competitive. There's some cards I'm thinking about taking out, some cards I'm thinking about changing. The side deck is not complete, but I have a rough side deck that I will show you. I just have to get it down. It's in this lovely box, by the way. If you're thinking about getting a cheap deck box, these are actually really good quality. But today I will be showing you Kashtira Melodious, which at first glance doesn't seem to be that interchangeable to go together very well. However, the level 7s being the extra deck monsters, the ability to go into your OTK, the ability to do all those things with this deck is actually quite insane. And if you play the deck correctly and you have the good hand, you can actually end on a pretty powerful board. There are proxies in this deck because the cards I ordered haven't arrived yet, so I have printed off some proxies just to show you the actual deck profile. But we will do the deck profile first as usual, then we'll get into some test hands. So first things first is your Kashtira core that you will be running in this deck. You will be running, of course, as in most Kashtira decks, you will be running your 3 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. That is pretty much a baseline. If you're running a Kashtira deck, you will be running 3 Fenrirs. That's just how this deck is played. Next, controversially, this isn't controversial I don't think, but some people don't, you will be running 3 Kashtira Unicorns. So this is a lovely search for your birth, which will allow you to just, normal summon your cards, get them back from the graveyard. Then you will be running, this is controversial, 2 Scare Cash, because it's a free way to get a body on the board. If you have a complete brick hand and you have a Kashtira birth in your hand and you don't want that, you can then use this to get a card on the field, which then you can do some things with. Then 2 Rise Heart, 3 Rise Heart is a brick in this deck, while 2 is the sweet spot. You can up it to 3, but you could take one of these out. But again, best case scenario there, you'll have maybe 2 Kashtira monsters on the field, saying you opened Birth. 3 planets. Planet is a beautiful start of this deck. You can do Kashtira combos without any other cards to help. And then 3 Births, which I am also debating bringing down to 2, but at the moment it is at 3. This is the Kashtira core you will be running. At the moment, this is quite expensive, but after Rarity Collection, I'm pretty sure Planet's going to go down a lot. I don't know if I saw Fenrir in there, but if he is in there, he will also go down a lot. So this will not be that expensive after May 23rd, I think is when it comes out. Next, you will be moving on to your Melodious core, which is actually a very, very small core. You'll be running 1 couplet in this deck. You really hope you don't open this, so there is a very high chance I will take out one of those birds and up this to 2, so you don't open it, meaning it can basically screw up your entire combo if you open this card. Next, you'll be running 3 Refrains. This is an amazing card. This card will basically get you going. It's a Pendulum 1. This is Pendulum 9, so you can Pendulum Summon your Kashtira cards. I'm not 100% sure on Pendulum Summon, by the way. So if I get something wrong in this deck, please correct me in the comments. Do not, flame me for it because of it. You will be running this card, which is basically the key to the whole deck, Ostinato. This is a fusion card, like Branded Fusion or something like that, but it doesn't lock you into fusions, so it's pretty cool. Then you'll be running 1 Concerto, which is just a polymerization for this archetype. Next, everything else is non-engine in the main deck. I'm running 3 Nibiru's, 3 Ash Blossoms, Ghost Ogre. Okay, I think I have to say why I'm using Ogre. Ogre is a great card in the current meta because say something activates it, you know what it does, activate, you can then destroy that card. A lot of things have destruction and protection, but this on a fairly weak card that people use Tribute in or Synchro in or stuff like that, which doesn't have protection, is very good. I probably don't have to validate it as much as I thought, but I think this is definitely a card worth running. Maybe not in main, but I like it in main. It's just a nice card to open. You see it, you're like, oh, okay, beautiful. Again, you can see 3 Prosp. Prosp is a very important card in this deck. It will get you your starters if you don't have them. Very, very nice card to have. You will be running 2 Tactics and a single called by, because it's a 1. And then you'll be running 3 imperms. These are all non-engine, as you can see. There's a lot of non-engine, but this deck doesn't often brick, but it doesn't often open the cards you want either. Next, we'll go on to the extra deck, which I think is a very interesting extra deck. This is where the proxies are, by the way. It's a very interesting extra deck in my opinion, but it's a very cool extra deck. You'll be running a Grav controller. This card can help you to play around Nib. It can help you to get into the OTK. It can help you get into a bunch of different combos. You'll be running an SP Little Knight. As you can see, my SP hasn't arrived yet, so I've just printed one off and put it on the back of a card. You'll be running an IP Masquerader. I'm going to take this and this out of the deck for the OTK. If you don't know the Kashtira OTK, it's pretty fun. Check out my Kashtira video if you want to see that. These will be taken out because in the other deck you saw, these cards work very well because they can search out your Supreme King cards. However, in this deck, you're pretty much going through all your Pendulum cards in the combo where you would summon this guy. Gal, sorry. And then if you were ever to go into this, you would have no material for it to work. You've got Unicorn, which is my IP target, and then you've got Apo, which also I've just not bought because a copy of it will be coming in Rarity Collection. These are your Link monsters. Beautiful. I think it's a very nice little Link card. Next, you're into your XYZ monsters. Your Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. Now this card is insane because it can help you summon your Omni Negate. Then you have number 11 Big Eye. Simple card, very good card. I think it's worth running. You have two Shangri-Las. You can use this as a prosperity target if you want, because there are 2 of them, compared to something maybe you don't want to banish as much. And then you will be running Zeus, as you will if you're running any XYZs. Maybe not any, but I tend to run it a lot because I do like Zeus. He's a very nice little thing to have in your pocket. Then you'll be running 2 backers. This is part of the combo. You'll be summoning both of these, and then you'll be running your Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Again, the last proxy in the deck. I know it doesn't matter that much, but I'm going to tell you the proxies because I don't own them and I'm quite sad about it. But yes, that is your main core of the deck. That is everything you're going to be needing for this deck list. Now, if you want to see some combos, if you want to see some testing, that will happen right now once I shuffle this deck. There are a couple things with this deck that could be better. One is if you don't open a starter, which is very unlikely because it's Kashtira, which, you know, pretty much every card is a 1-card combo. And then Melodious, you can also pretty much play with anything. If you open all non-engine, you can sometimes get screwed over by the ratios, but the ratios I think are pretty good in this deck. The only problem I have again is opening non-engine or opening all just the Melodious cards in your hand, except for Ostinato, because if you open Couplet, Refrain, and then say Ash and Nib, you're in a very bad spot. There are 42 cards. I know a lot of people are mad that 42 cards, about 42 card decks. I like them. It's a round number. It's a number I've learned to love, and it stops me decking out before my opponent if we go to a draw out, which doesn't happen in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! But if it does, we get to we get to win that. So we will draw 5. There's 5, and then we will reveal the opening hand. See, this is not a great hand at all, at all. However, I just need to check something. Yeah. So what we will begin by doing is you'll go effect in summon Fenrir. You go Fenrir effect. We're going to play it like they don't have any interruption because that's just how you do test hands. You're going to grab from your deck your little friend Rise Heart. Then you're going to effect of Scare Cash to summon, and then you will banish Scareclaw Kashtira because it is you can do whatever you want with it. It's a beautiful little effect that I very much enjoy. Then you will go normal summon Rise Heart, you'll go Rise Heart effect. And here you can banish a couple things, but I will be banishing a Kashtira Unicorn. This will get it to a level 7. And then you'll go into your extra deck, as usual. And then you will go into Shangri-La. This is very Kashtira, by the way. This is nothing new, by the way. If you watch the Cash video, this is very Kashtira. What you could do is you could scale with this, but there is no point in scaling with this, because obviously it is. If you just do that, you're like, oh, okay, no other scale. There's nothing you can do, and its effect is only if you have a melodious fusion monster on the field. So this is a fairly nice card to open, but yeah. We will go to a second to test hand, because that's pretty much all you can do with this. You can get Fenrir in standby of next turn. If you saw anywhere else I could have gone with that, please let me know in the comments below. I'm hoping this video does well like that other one did, the Melodious Supreme King deck did, because I really hope my Yu-Gi-Oh videos do well. I really enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh, so please like, comment, subscribe, hit that noty bell, and I will hopefully see you very soon. What's my Life is Strange series? Don't. It's very long, and if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player, we know how patient you guys get. We'll do that. Completely change up the ratio, and then we'll do one final cut. Oh yeah, switch it up. 5 cards. Reveal them in our hand. Oh, we open our starter. This is beautiful. You'll go Ostinato. You will then go Refrain from hand and Refrain from deck, which will then bring out Melodious Baka, the Melodious Maestro. You go Baka's effect, or Butcher, as people call it. I call it Baka, because that's just how it's pronounced in Japanese, and I think that's how it's supposed to be said, but it doesn't matter. Then you'll go Songstress effect to add Couplet. You will then reveal Couplet from your hand to special a Songstress. Songstress is once per turn, so we cannot add another. You will then effect of Couplet when scaled. If you only control melodious monsters, you can add a melodious spell or trap to your hand, or it might just be a spell. One spell or trap. Yeah, no, I was right. And then here you will add your melodious concerto, and then from here you will go melodious concerto with refrain and couplet to summon another Batcher. She is once per turn. However, we are using the effect of chain 1, chain 2, which will then set the scales with themselves if they are used to fuse. Non once per turn, by the way. And then you'll Xyz summon into Odd Eye's Absolute Dragon. He does nothing when he touches the field. However, once you do that, you are then going to go into... You can go into many different monsters here. I either go into SP here or Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum would obviously add a Pendulum monster. There are none others in the deck. So if you go to IP or SP here, it doesn't really matter. It's just whichever one you want to stay in your extra deck. So we'll go to IP because that's the one I'm more okay in losing. So you go with these guys. That goes to your top of extra deck, and these go to the grave. Then you have 3 triggers here. You have 4 triggers here, but you have 3 triggers. So you're going to go Chain 1, Concerto, because that's the one that interacts with our deck. We want to stop the Ash. Chain 2, Batcher, which is special from a graveyard of Songstress. Melodious card, sorry. And then Absolute, which is special summon from deck, extra deck, another Odd Eyes monster. We're going to go to Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. That is an Omni Negate by returning 1 face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to the deck. Then you're going to go Batcher to summon, which is a Songstress. Then you're going to go Couplet to draw, so we will cut. We don't want to cheat. So draw a card. That's a pretty good card to draw. And then that is the resolve of the chain. You could obviously have done IP here, but I will not have done IP here. Then you are going to go Planet Ratesum. If you didn't know, people have to respond to the activation of that with an Ash. You can't go you can't then go, okay, I activate that, is that okay? Then you go add to hand, and then they go, oh Ash, they cannot do that. That is not how the card works. I'm sure at locals level it won't matter. I'm just telling you for like regionals and stuff like that. It makes it much easier. You're going to grab your Fenrir here because we have a pendulum summon to do. Pendulum summoning is weird. I don't mind it, but I don't love it. So we're going to pendulum summon our Kashtira Fenrir and our Rise Heart. I do not think we can pendulum summon this. Also, we do not want to pendulum summon this right now. Then you're going to go effect of Rise Heart. To banish, honestly, we'll do our second scare called Kashtira. And then we're going to go effect of Fenrir to add Unicorn. If you remember, we still have a normal summon because we have not normal summoned once this time. But we're not. I don't think we are going to quite yet. Next, I want to go into. We want to get an Apollosa on the field, which we can do fairly easily right now because we could do 1, 2, 3, or something along those lines. But we want Apo and Shangri-La, which is going to be very easy to do actually now that I'm looking at the hand. So we're going to go Apollosa with 1, 2, 3. This will only have 3 negates, by the way, because we're only using 3 monsters for it. However, if there are 8 attributes on the board, you will get your extra negate with Planet. There aren't 8 attributes. There's 1, 2, 3. So it's only going to gain. Only 2. So it's only going to gain 200. But if they summon a bunch and then you summon a bunch, you can get Apollosa up by 800. Giving her another negate. Then you're going to go Scare Cash effect, Banish, Special. Then you're going to go Exee Summon. And then you're going to go into your boy, my boy at least, Shangri-La. Shangri-La is a very nice card. You know why. You get him. You get him. And then this is a pretty powerful board. All things considered, of course. You will then go end phase, draw standby. Standby phase, you'd activate effect of Shangri-La. Shangri-La would allow me to special summon either a Unicorn or a Fenrir from deck. It will be a Fenrir. We're going to special Fenrir from deck. And then, this is a pretty hard board to beat. We have a Ghost Ogre in hand. So, 3 Apo effects, an Omni Negate on Vortex, because we do have 2 materials here. You can only do it once per turn, however. I'll show you that because you can't see that, it's off screen. There are 2 materials here, so obviously we can't do that a bunch. We can only do that once per turn. It's a hard once per turn. Yes, it is a hard once per turn. You have Shangri-La's Destruction, Negation, also locks. Fenrir's Banish. It's a pretty hard board to get over. Then they Dark Ruler, and then you go, okay, I'm never coming back to this locals again. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. That's the most complex combo you're going to get in this deck. And even so, I think that's one of the easier combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! For me. I think learning that combo took me not very long at all. And while it uses a lot of resources, while you have to ditch a lot of cards, you still have some pretty powerful cards in your extra deck. Like, you still have SP, you still got your Big Eye, you still got your Zeus. You can still do stuff. Oh, I left one on the floor. What was that? Oh, Nightmare. Yeah, and you still have Nightmare Unicorn. You still have plays after this. Say they out this, you're kind of in the rough because you shouldn't be getting outed with a board like this. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Yu-Gi-Oh! You know? But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video because I love this deck, and if this doesn't perform well, maybe I'll do a emulator one once my emulator's back online or whatever. I don't want to use the online one like the one on Nexus. No offense to Nexus, the interface annoys me. Again, I think Nexus is great for people who are learning Yu-Gi-Oh, people who are doing all that, but I think it's annoying to me. Master Duel annoys me as well because of the candy stuff, how you have to build decks. So that application is the best I have at the moment. If you have any better ones, let me know. But without further ado, I really appreciate you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that noty bell to support me. Maybe I'll start doing more YouTube Yu-Gi-Oh content. Maybe I'll do some local recaps, because I do go to locals on Saturdays. But yeah, tell me what you want to see from me, because I do want to do what the community wants. I might do some like long form videos where I talk about the current state of Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. This is not in regard to the deck at all, by the way, so if you don't want to listen to this, you can click off the video now, as that's all this is going to be. But yeah, I really appreciate you watching. If you want to play this deck, man. I don't mind. If you want to tell me any revisions you made to this deck, any way to improve this deck, also tell me. I know Thrust should be in this deck. I don't have Thrust, so this is best for now. I will do an updated version at some point on the emulator, so that you can see the actual list that I would probably run if I were to ever take this to regionals or stuff like that. But this is a quaint little deck you've run at locals that would do probably pretty well, maybe middle of the board, higher end. On a good day, maybe you could win with it if you're a really good duelist. I'm not, I'm pretty average. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you lot. Oh, Goku, no. I will see you lot, hopefully, soon. Bye-bye for now.